So recently, I was going through a lot of research papers for one of my papers, and I came across this very interesting line by Terry Eagleton, which reads like, if we are inspired only by literature that reflects our own interests, all reading becomes a form of narcissism. And immediately it struck me like, wow, what a great thought, right? What a different perception, especially for me, because I have always tried to resonate myself with a lot of writings that I read or a lot of media that I consume. So I wrote something. Now, Terry Eagleton suggests that reading becomes a very limited exercise when it is reduced to a search for our own reflection. In his very characteristic tone, he argues that if we approach literature only to find our own experiences equal back at us, then we are not reading literature at all. We are merely admiring ourselves in this very textual mirror. So, for him, literature gains its value not by flattering or our identities, but instead by confronting us with what is resistant, what is unsettling, what is strange, weird, right? He insists that the purpose of reading is not self confirmation, but self displacement. Now, I agree to this point a lot because literature should move us beyond the comforts of our own perception, beyond the limited, narrow circle of our lived reality. It is definitely quite narcissistic when we start demanding text to resemble us, our politics, our desires, our wishes, or our histories per se, right? It basically becomes a very curated ego chamber disguised as a very intellectual activity. Now, Eagleton would say that real intellectual challenge lies in engaging with what does not immediately appeal to us. It lies in recognizing that literature is the sphere where unfamiliar voices speak, where other words assert their presence, where we are forced to rethink what we already know. To read only the familiar, only the agreeable, only the self-reflection is to miss the radical promise of literary study, that it stretches the imagination beyond the borders of the self. In other words, Eagleton reminds us that reading is not about finding ourselves. It is about learning how not to be the center of the universe.